What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. Today we have Tulsa International Airport news for the month of April 2024. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. A little bit lighter on the news this month, but luckily May will be really big, so that will certainly make up for it. But nevertheless, still some really quality information here to take a look at. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Also, I apologize, it's coming out a little bit late. My intention was to get it out sooner, but we've had so many content conflicts, kind of a tongue twister there. So I've done my best to kind of balance it all out. So that's why this is coming out a little bit later. So let's go ahead and start with some very exciting news here, as Tulsa International Airport has unveiled new EV chargers powering 32 additional electric vehicles, which is super exciting. So later in April, on the 22nd, on Earth Day, in fact, Tulsa International Airport unveiled the state-of-the-art electric vehicle chargers. These are in the airport's parking garage, and as I said, 32 additional vehicles will be able to be charged here. So this is super exciting, and the funding can be found below, and the impact that these new EV charging stations will have. So I think this is really great. Of course, as we continue to move into the future, these electric cars will continue to become more prominent, especially in this region, and as a result, we're obviously going to need chargers for those. So it is really exciting that also will be easy to promote, as typically people that are driving these vehicles usually look for chargers prior to coming to their location, so they'll be able to see that Tulsa International Airport has them thanks to this article right here. And it's also been pretty heavily promoted on social media too, so you can see some additional details here regarding all the information and also the brief information about Tulsa International Airport for news press. So this is a really exciting development. I think this will be a really quality addition there for the parking garage. Again, these will become more prominent over time, and somewhere in here probably talks about the options that they have, because they have additional options to gain more of these in the future once applicable. But this is a really great start here, and I think it'll be really awesome. The company that was helping here was PSO, and they're an American electric power company, and they serve more than 500,000 customers in 232 communities. So definitely a company I would want to work with in that case, considering how awesome they are. So that's super exciting, and I'm looking super forward to the future here of electricity, and obviously for electric cars here at Tulsa International Airport. So definitely a very exciting development right here to start off with. So that's awesome. We also got the monthly revenue and air traffic statistics report here for March 2024. The numbers were actually slightly down relative to March 2023. This is the first time TUL has had a decrease in quite some time, but this isn't alarming, and I'll go ahead and explain why for three major reasons. Number one, Arkansas and Oklahoma's spring breaks were in the same week this year. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Typically, Oklahoma's first and then Arkansas follows. There was no additional capacity added by any of the airlines to compensate for this, and as a result, numbers were obviously down because a huge part of the March numbers comes from spring break. So this is what really good numbers look like with the spring break spread out, and obviously no additional capacity to compensate for this led to these numbers right here. Another major factor is that in March of 2023, the NCAA wrestling tournament was hosted in Tulsa, so that probably brought in at least 4,000 people. So obviously that didn't happen this year, and that's why you're seeing these numbers here. So yes, it is a 4.3 or 4.4 rather percent decrease here, but you have to think about it relative to the circumstances here. If additional capacity would have been added, I think that we would have been 4% over, probably closer to 270,000, maybe 268. So very reasonable for the circumstances here. Luckily, we're still looking good on the year-to-year date here, still at 670. So we're definitely on pace to hopefully surpass the 2023 numbers with a really big summer ahead with so much additional capacity, and I'll briefly talk about that towards the end. So yes, this is a little frustrating, but this is mainly due to the airlines not compensating. Really tough for the legacy carriers to find windows to get additional flights in, especially Southwest and carriers like that have big market shares at TUL. And Allegiant just kind of dropped the bomb. They didn't really make any effort. Typically they do, but they didn't make much of an effort here to help out. So unfortunate in this particular circumstance, but considering that all the flights got into still get over 250, which is still a good number, that's still better than 2019 numbers, I believe, are really close to it. That's really awesome to see. So obviously not exactly what you want to see, but if airlines aren't going to add additional seats, then there's only so much you can do. Hopefully the spring breaks will be spread out next year once again, and we can get closer to that or above, but still, considering the circumstances, very reasonable. So great to keep in mind, and this number was truly definitely definitely above and beyond with the NCAA tournament. So still a good number here, but thought I would clarify why we've had our first negative month in quite some time. Cargo does continue to go down, but relative to the circumstance, it makes sense. And then obviously our operations are up 20%, which is super cool, including our GA local traffic, which has had significant increases due to the maintenance being done at Tulsa Riverside Airport. So even still though, our military traffic is making really great strides, so that's super exciting. And even our air taxi, which is great. And actually it was confirmed that our capacity was down relative to March 2023. It should also clarify that. Airlines like Breeze not being here anymore, just Breeze rather, but less capacity from a few carriers there. There was no United mainline to Houston during that month. So there's certainly circumstances as to why these numbers are the way they are. And yeah, so considering that we had less capacity, double spring break there, and the NCAA tournament not being present, to have this number is still really, really good. So really think about that more like 4 or 5% up relative to what it actually is. But again, circumstances are all of it. It's not football stats for sure. So anyway, still looking really good right there. I don't really have too much other news to report on out in the news regard, but I have obviously some really cool graphics here that we're going to take a look at, including this brand new American Airlines billboard sign promoting the Washington National Service, which is super exciting. It looks really good, and I think they did a good job here. So great to get people informed that don't know about it, especially if they continue to push that Dallas service. So really great to see that relative to American pushing the Dallas service, not Tulsa International Airport, but Tulsa helping out with the Washington service and all of our other ones. So that's super great. So we love to see that right there. Another small change right here is that American has begun using gate A3 for operations, which is super exciting. They're going to have many more flights coming in overnight here this summer, and they're going to need the additional gate space. And since this gate sits empty, regardless, if American's not going to use it, then they might as well use it. So I thought this was a really cool picture, as Legion obviously is the main gate user was of A3. Now we have American using it too. So here's the two carry-on sizes right next to each other, which is pretty funny to see those two right next to each other. And here's a 170 at the gate, which again, this is really awesome. So they'll continue to, or 175 rather. So we can expect 175s to park here for the immediate future. There's a chance mainline can park here down the road, but we'll see. But yeah, this is a long-awaited movement here, and I'm glad to see this happening. Obviously, not too relevant to the passengers, but still great to see that they're utilizing all the space. Meanwhile, you can see all these United gates full, which is awesome. United's now overnighting 6 aircraft. We'll talk about that more next month, which is a record and super exciting. But you can see 319, the 175 on the hard stand, and then there should be one at B10 right there. There's the CRJ right there. It looks like a 700 and a 175 there. A couple Southwest in the back that are also thriving, so we love to see that. Right here, also great to see, speaking of United, they have added stanchions to their gates, which is super exciting. So really nice to get this organized. Obviously, with bigger planes coming in, you're going to need these stanchions to organize all the passengers. So you can see here they've added that, and they look really nice. So here at B6, it's a little bit shorter than B8's. It's a little bit more organized, but still nice to at least keep people on their respective sides here. So that's great to see. Also got the United podium and other such matrix going on there, so we love to see that. And then here is what it looks like over here at B8. Sorry that the picture's not the best, but you can see 1 and 2, and they have it going right. So B8's the primary mainline gate, so that's why they certainly focus on that here. So we definitely love to see that. That's absolutely awesome, and definitely really great to see that right there. Here's a little bit better of a view here. You can see where the stanchion goes straight, and they line them up. Again, B8 primary mainline gate, where the most passengers will depart out of. So I'm glad that they're featuring that right here. There was also an Air Canada E220 diversion in the month of April, which was super cool. Unfortunately, I was gone, so I wasn't able to see it, but it was still sweet to see. This diverted, I think it was going Montreal or Toronto to Dallas, and diverted due to thunderstorms at DFW, so this is super cool. Can't remember the last time we've had an international diversion, so this was super cool, and definitely glad to see that we facilitated an Air Canada E220 for the first time. And of course, I forgot to put in the airport update, but that's all right. It happens to the best of us, but definitely glad to cover it here in the news, no matter what the case is. So yeah, really brief this month, but we have some really exciting developments. We'll talk a bunch about the air traffic control project, which next month, which will be this month pretty much. But anyway, we'll talk more about that then, which we have some really good news on that, the FIS facility, and also some other additional developments. Air service wise, we're doing really good. This summer is going to be loaded. We're going to have so many mainline planes, and it's going to be super exciting. So we'll definitely cover that when the time is right, and it's going to be super exciting to do all that. I believe the rest of this is the same Allegiant Allegiant is continuing to thrive as well, along with all the other carriers, Southwest American, Delta, and United. So we love to see that, and I have a bunch of really great content coming up from those travels that I've had at TUL, so definitely stay on the lookout for that. But yeah, TUL is looking great. You can see the pictures right there flashing through. Project Sunrising should be coming up soon, and then let's see if there's any other brief updates I want to give with regards to Propel TUL. Let's see here. So we've talked about the FIS facility, the Discovery Play Labs going great, the EV charging stations. Here's the full rundown on that. If it'll let me click on it. There we go. So you can see all the additional details here. So it looks really nice there. And here's the scope of the work and the total cost and all the vendors that were used in the construction of this project. So they're really nice, and I think this will be quite powerful for various vehicles that are even hybrids, but of course predominantly electric vehicles. So wayfinding should be really making its rounds here in May 2024. So looking forward to seeing that. If that continues to be on time, air traffic control groundbreaking will be June, and that's official now. So that's super exciting. And then Project Sunrising is supposed to go up next month as well, or June, I should say, which is going to be super exciting. And I'm looking super forward to seeing what that will be all about there. And any other updates here. And then that'll take us on to some some fall projects. So looking super forward to all this, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. Safe to say that Tulsa International Airport is in a really good spot, and I really hope all of you are looking forward to hearing more about it. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriver of Aviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love what you do? My name is Redriver of Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriver of Aviation is signing off.